Hey, it's Tom. Welcome to another Page Turning Tuesdays with Tom. One of the things I really love is people have been posting some pictures of the book, this one and the other one, in different places of the world. And so far, it's shown up in like England, Canada, Germany, and all the way down in New Zealand. Wolfgang posted a picture in Christchurch, New Zealand. Um, New Zealand is way better than Old Zealand. And then I started thinking about other countries and the names, and it occurred to me that Nepal really just sounds like a fancy way of saying nipple. So anyway, let's get back to the book. I'm at the table with John, the dining room table, which is always a stressful experience. So let's continue. One evening, as we're finishing dinner, John tells us to remain at the table because he wants to talk. Right on cue, we begin shaking in our seats. Mom clears the table and leaves the room. I'm sure we're in for another black belt whipping, but John doesn't look upset at all. Do you kids know any so-called bad words? He asks. We shake our heads no, all of us thinking the same thing. Trick question. It's not a trick question, he says. I want you to say any so-called bad words, out loud for me. Total silence. He keeps encouraging us. I'm not going to punish you. I'm trying to teach you something. So we can say any bad words we want right now and not get in trouble, Chris asks. Correct. Out loud? Asked Shelley. Yes. We giggle. This is our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to cuss in front of John. Little does he know that one of our favorite pastimes is inventing cuss word combinations with our God family. All eyes are on Chris. She's the bravest and can deliver it the best. She clears her throat, sits up tall in her seat, and proudly spews out our latest and greatest verse. Cool-sucking motherfucking blue ball bastard got a ping-pong pussy like a son of a bitch. It rolls off her tongue beautifully. Wow, John says, lifting a brow. To our shock and amusement, he begins nodding his approval. He was expecting one word, so our combination must have really impressed him. He smiles, barely, for a brief moment. We're actually having fun. And then it's over. He begins one of his lengthy dissertations, going on and on about how words, the sounds we form with our throats, tongues, and lips, are both powerful and worthless. Blah, blah, blah. The cognitive process in our minds requires shared meaning to be effective. He continues speaking over our heads, and all I want to do is have my turn to cuss in front of him. The more he tries to make his point, the more confused we become. He's terrible with kids. Sure, he can write a paper on gravitational orbit, but can he teach a kid how to ride a bike? No. When he's finally finished, Chris asks the question that's on all of our minds. So, are we allowed to use bad words now? No. There are no such things as bad words, and if you use any of them in this house, I'll beat the tar out of you. The coping strategy my sisters and I use to stay alive while living with John is out of sight, out of mind. The less he sees us, the less he has a reason to punish us. And yet there is one thing John and I have in common, a fascination with space exploration. We get up early to watch the Gemini and Apollo rockets blast off as America inches closer to landing on the moon. He writes mathematical formulas and sketches of orbital flight paths and celestial bodies. He tells me math is sexy. I want to see that new movie, 2001, Space is Odyssey, I tell him. You mean 2001, A Space Odyssey? Yeah, that's the one. It's playing across the street. I know. I want to go. We should see it. John's black hole eyes pierce my soul. He's thinking. A painfully long pause, but then he says, I'll take you and your mama sometime this weekend. We'll ask Yori or Irene to babysit. The evening starts out great. Yori, our Philippine neighbor, comes over with a handful of hot peppers her father grows. My brother and my sisters are happy to see her. It feels like a special occasion going with Mom and John while leaving everyone else behind. We cross the street holding hands and tromp towards the flashing marquee lights. While they're buying tickets, I study the movie posters in absolute awe. We follow the plush red and gold-patterned carpet into the Art Deco lobby that reeks of buttered popcorn and tobacco. John picks our seats inside the enormous theater. Dramatically red-lit curtains separate to reveal the enormous screen as the lights come down. The previews are wonderful, and the first part of the movie is fantastic. I especially like the scene with the space toilet. After that, I'm pretty much curled in a fetal position, frightened out of my fucking mind. I'm only 7 years old, and this isn't exactly a Disney feel-good family kind of movie. I'm going to pause there because the next part of this story is kind of fun too. So we'll save that for next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next Tuesday on Page Turning Tuesdays with Tom.